Chance for Talkie. Chris Hargreaves, the captain. If he stays offside, Carlisle checks instead. He's looking for Benny. Sells.
Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the Goals Live View. We've gone back-to-back wins for the first time since August, an emphatic 4-1 win at Enfield. And yes, I'm joined by Tom in Norway, from Norway even. And I've got Clive and I've got Chris who are both at the game. We'll go straight into it before we have a little bit of a quiz section from Clive. He's got a bit of a fun talky trivia for you this week. We've got the third shirt to talk about. And a few other bits as well in Kelly's Corner. So, action-packed episode as per usual. 4-1 win at Enfield. We did a talk and went 1-0 down straight away, but then we recovered very, very well. Right, I'll start with Chris, actually. Tell me your thoughts and just tell me how the day and the game went.
Well, I didn't know Tommy was Norwegian. It's the first thing, but that's you learn something new every day, don't you? But yeah, well, as you just said there, really, you couldn't have. Yeah, I mean, get there, impose yourself. I mean, we got there, so we had a slight drama getting there from Liverpool Street, but that's not that interesting a story. So yeah, we got there. Good walk to get to the ground. Running track, which is never a good thing at a football ground, but. Yeah, the game kicked off and we pretty much straight away gave away a penalty. I agree. I saw something I saw Clive said. It looked more clear cut live than it does on the replay, but I think I mean, the bloke's probably going to head it in if whoever it was in the end. Did we decide it was Dyer that pulled him back? We did, didn't we?
It was definitely Jordan Dyer. Yes.
Yeah,
Which you'll see in the match report.
Yeah,
yes.
Sam Dreyer made clear.
Yes, of course. Yeah, because the commentator said it was Dreyer. I thought it was Hayfield, and it turns out it was Dyer. But anyway, so straight away we're under the pump. But I mean, we reacted straight away. I mean, they're the first team who haven't been able to cope with Moose's just the speed of his feet, the speed of his brain. He kept getting around the outside, he kept cutting inside, and you thought sooner or later something's going to come from it. And then, he got a burst down the left-hand side, fired that ball across, and Jordan Thomas had escaped to the back post to chest it in. And then pretty much straight away, we got him around the sides again, and the ball dropped. Good controlled finish from Jenkins Davis, because you could have blasted that over. Good controlled finish. And then, and we were dominant towards the end of the first half, really. But they didn't really play any football, but they were dangerous from long throws and set pieces, balls into the box, which in the main, I think we defended well. And the third goal at the start of the second half was always key. Again, quick bit of thinking from Jordan Thomas, and good to see Jordan Young get back on the score sheet. Keeper will probably think he should have done better, I think. But and then after that, we didn't kind of overpower them particularly, I didn't think, but we held them at arm's length without much difficulty and made a few changes. And then near the end, Ash got away down the left, and then Ash got around the outside near the end, and a nice ball back from Cook, and Jenkins Davis, another nice controlled finish. So it was always under control, I thought, Clive. It was never too many panics, but I think that third goal was key. Start of the second half.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. Their manager was really antsy with them about that as well. He looked a broken man really on his post-match interview. I feel sorry for him. I think he's lost quite a lot of players from his promotion team last year.
Yeah, they sold a lot went around October, didn't they? It was really bizarre because they started quite well this season, Enfield, for the newly promoted team. They looked quite useful. But yeah, it's tough on that.
They do look a bottom of the table team to me. It's the sort of team you would love to be playing every week, but clearly you can't. It was a lovely afternoon, sort of, a feel good afternoon, really. It was a decent bit of weather for late November. Were we even in December? No, 30th of November, wasn't it? It was comfortable. You're quite right, Chris. It probably was a potential banana skin, really. But we were sort of quite switched on. Bar that penalty, didn't panic. Played some decent football, as you said, Chris. Musa's probably had his best game in a Torquay shirt, but it was against bottom of the table. But yeah, we went there, we put them to the sword, and we move on. Very good.
It was important to get just the way we did it as well. I feel like we're playing with really sort of that sort of confidence now, bottom of the league or not. When we went 1-0 down, I wasn't too worried, to be honest. In a way, it's almost like it might have actually helped to sort of spell on a little bit, but it's just weird. I mean, Tom, you've been following from Norway, as I said, for a couple of weeks. What have your thoughts been over the last few weeks? From my point of view, I've been saying how I feel like we have turned a corner and we've gone up another couple levels in the last few weeks. But what are your thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the fact that we've scored 8 goals in 2 games. and it was the perfect birthday present for me, really.
Hmm.
Fearing, a minute in to go 1-0 down. I was fearing the worst, typical Torquay style. But Paul Watton's done a great job with the recruitment, and you can see
Yes,
the
indeed.
players are there fighting for him. And we got back into the game quickly. It was the game I was expecting. Enfield were going to come at us early. A big crowd for them as well. They had their chances in the first half. It's important that we got back level quite quickly. And then, we just took control after that. Went in at half time 2-1 up. Some cracking goals as well from the highlights I was watching. Some really class goals. And
Yeah.
Musa, I was rather critical of Musa against Western last week. But he looked like he put in the performance that we've been hoping for a while. So hopefully we'll see more of him in the coming weeks. And it was important that we got that third goal early on in the second half, wasn't it? Kill the game off because at 2-1, you're just inviting Enfield the chance to get back and frustrate you. And thankfully, we kind of took the sting out the tail of the game. And then, Will against Davis puts in a cracking strike for the fourth, and happy days all round. I'm still annoyed that we're conceding cheap goals, but I mean, it is a penalty, I think, from what I've seen. But we're bouncing back and we're fighting for it, and that's all you can ask as a Torquay fan at the moment. And the stats don't lie. We're third in the table, and I think we're motoring a bit now, and long may that continue.
Player in particular started a motor, hasn't he? Jenkins Davis.
Yeah,
he's adding goals now. I mean, he's famous already for having a good engine, but he's really making a difference. And I think goals from midfield is always a great sign.
Disappointing as well, Tony. It's disappointing that we've just found that structure and that group that works, and of course it's going to be disrupted now with "Don't Start Me Again," Clive. Hassani's 3-match ban that he's now going to serve. So that system and that pattern of
and Jenkins Davis loan ended in January as well, which we have read today they are trying to extend. But it's part of
so you would think TORQUAYTALK will come in there and kind of play that more holding role where Hayfield's been to release Hayfield more into the Hassani role at the weekend. But I mean, again, thought Hassani was good at the weekend. His ability to kind of get beyond the forward and kind of make those runs driving through. Really impressive. The way he's come into the team, and it's been a very attacking lineup again. When he went with an unchanged team on Saturday, which you don't see a lot with modern football and a lot of the games, but it's very interesting, that he's gone with Jenkins Davis and Hayfield and Hassani and all that very attacking away from home, admittedly at the bottom of the table, Musa and Young, but it's working really well, and I think defensively they're holding their jobs up well.
They're solid with 4, aren't they, as well at the back.
I think that back four is brilliant. One thing I was going to say, Jenkins Davis, yes, completely agree. Nice to see him really sort of coming of age as a player. But Jordan Thomas, I mean, I don't want to say it too loudly in case you're overall watching. I don't know, like the recall and all that sort of thing on there. But he is one hell of a player. And he hasn't just been a good player. He's allowed us to go to the next level by giving us that option of being a very good fullback. And he can play as wing back as well. And that back four at this level is perfect because they are young still, but they've also got a lot of games under their belt. Having a main back four of Falston, Dreyer, Dyer, and himself is absolutely fantastic. I mean, with options like Ed Palmer to come into it as well, it's absolutely brilliant. I think they're all I always say when you recruit, it's good to get players who are kind of, we saw it with the Buckle years. We had that team. They're all kind of similar stories and similar age and similar stages of life, and we've kind of got that with a few like more experienced players as well. It's really clever recruitment all round, and I really like this Torquay team. I really, really, really like it. I'm so happy we're playing with that a bit more freedom and belief. We're not second guessing ourselves as much now, which comes with sort of games and confidence and a couple of results as well. I just feel like over the last couple of weeks, as I said, I'll keep saying it all season, maybe, hopefully. Since the second half of that Truro game, I know what it is. I just saw something a bit different, and I love it. I'm just sat here thinking, we're starting to really get to that level now, and
it's testament to the fitness of the team as well. Like we've had 3 really tough games come. We've had Bournemouth in that atrocious weather. The Western game where we were playing the whole second half pretty much with 10 men, and Enfield going to make it difficult. And even though it's a comfortable win in the end, we have to work hard for that.
Yeah.
Can I just go back really quickly? Sorry, can I just go back really quickly to Will Jenkins Davis, because I am now slightly obsessed by him because I found out this week that he went to my old school. So he is a localish lad.
I could have told you that if you'd asked, Clive. Actually, not that you would have asked, because
Thank you. Thank
my
you.
son goes to that school now and saw a photograph of him as a an ex-player or head boy or whatever you want to call him. So yeah, very 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 much so. Yeah.
So
Nice story.
what I was thinking about that was another fact I didn't know about him was that his loan's up in January. I didn't appreciate that.
Yeah.
Now, if Plymouth are happy to let him stay, great. Thanks very much, Will. Stay for the second half of the season. If not, I think he's the sort of player that we might be well advised to try and recruit. Because he's got everything in front of him. He's getting better all the time. He's, as discussed, he's got a lot of potential, I think, to go up, certainly to the National League, absolutely without question. And I think that would be good forward planning for us. So my hot tip for this evening is, let's try and sign him.
It's clearly seen very highly with Plymouth, if I'm honest. I see him going to the Football League. I think he's still very
Don't
young.
see him going to the Championship, Sam.
Not yet, but I think their next step would be National League or even League Two loan. Personally, my gut feeling would be to try and get a Football League loan in.
So
January,
you try and take the decision out of their hands, don't you?
Yeah, but I think he'll be seen high. But it does also make sense, what a story, local lad, he's playing under obviously Paul Watson, he's playing really well at the top of his game. He could even end up with a promotion on his CV, which would be a nice thing to go back to. So,
all right, Swanee,
there is
a couple of wins to listen to him. What we need, Swanee, someone close to the board who could kind of make this suggestion to the management group, isn't it?
Maybe they watch it. I don't know.
Yeah, well,
I'm pretty sure they'll be working on it. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, well, Paul's referenced us before, so maybe you'll be listening again.
I believe.
I don't feel as though they needed advice from Talkie Talk.
No, I don't think they do either, to be honest, mate. I think they're more than enough qualified with how they're doing. But anyway, I think it's brilliant. I think it's fantastic. I'm not getting my hopes up on that one, if I'm honest. As I say, don't fall for loan players. But I do think it definitely would benefit all parties still if we could extend that. But if not, plenty more players. We're showing now we're a football club on the way up and good at developing players. We've got a great young coach. We've got a great place to be around at the moment. So it's not like we're trying to convince people to come down. I think people want to start playing for us a lot more now as a football club. So if he, I think get extended
as well, Swanee, on that as well, on the recruitment side you just mentioned there, I think it's also pertinent to mention that, and this was something Don Mee mentioned in the interview, so I haven't come up with this myself for once, but the fact that all three players that scored were players who weren't with us at the start of the season.
Yeah,
Jordan Young, Jordan Thomas, Will Jenkins-Davis. That means that the players that they're bringing in are making a difference, and they're bringing players in who are the quality that we need to perform right now. And they were fit. Thomas had been playing. Jenkins-Davis was slower start, but they're all coming in, aren't they? Jordan Young had been playing, so their players were coming into a team and playing and making a difference straight away.
And that's brilliant.
What a difference having players that can make that impact.
I know, not just a number to fill in and hope it might be okay at football. We actually have a plan. We actually have recruitment strategies, and it's brilliant. This is why I'm confident. I'm just confident. I think it's fantastic. We're going in the right direction. Anyway, so before we move forward to Kelly's corner, anything more to add about the game before we go to Clive's little facts about something that you were very excited to tell us?
You'll do the facts, yeah.
Yeah,
sure.
We'll do the facts. Go on, Clive.
I noticed, being a keen student of these things, that we had 3 Jordans in the team on Saturday. So my mind then went to, I wonder whether Torquay United have ever had 4 people with the same forename in their starting lineup. Talkie Fan Stats is where to go if you've ever got a query of this sort, and Talkie Fan Stats have brought us back some unbelievable information. The answer is yes, very much. We have had 4 starting players with the same name in the past, and if you'll indulge me for a moment, I'll run you through some of them.
Go for it, Clive.
In the early 60s, we beat the mighty Crewe Alexandra 2-1, and we had John Smith, John Benson, John Bond, and John Evans in our side. It was
going to be a John, wasn't it? Especially John,
it was going to be a John. Well, John, of course, for years and years, John was the most popular boys Christian name in the country.
Mm-hmm.
But now it doesn't happen anymore. There's barely a John registered these days. These things do go in cycles, but yeah, definitely. So I suppose 1961, 62, you'd probably been talking about lads born early years of the war or just after. And so, yeah, Smith, Benson, Bond and Evans did the business for us that day. Paul's, I'm sorry to say, haven't been quite as successful as that. We've only been able to find one instance of 4 Pauls playing in the same game. It was March 1990. Dave Smith was in charge and he selected Paul Holmes, a very famous name, of course. Paul Smith, who I think was a striker, but I wouldn't absolutely swear to that. Paul Hall, who went on to play in the World Cup for Jamaica.
And Paul Buckle.
The famous Paul Hirons, in fact. 1990, of course, it was January of that year, I think, where he got that famous winner against West Ham. But unfortunately, it wasn't his day against Scunny because 0-0 at half time, but conceded 3 quickly in the second half for a rather disappointing 3-0 defeat. So the Paul's experiment might not have been all that successful.
Please say the other 2 are George and Ringo. We've had John.
We've had that.
We've had that.
John,
Okay.
Paul, George, and Ringo. Love me do. The other example before everybody falls asleep is we've had 4 Kevins at the same time. Does anybody fancy having a guess at them?
Kevin Hill.
Yeah. Kevin Hill. Kevin Dearden.
Yes.
Kevin Willett. Kevin Wills.
Very good. One more.
Kevin Amankwa.
I wanted to hear.
Kevin Amankwa, you say?
Yeah.
Get in. There he was.
Come on.
That is brilliant from you.
That was not rehearsed either. Get on.
Chris.
No, I haven't. No,
that's fantastic. Yeah, Dearden,
take that.
Mankwa, and Wills.
Yeah,
they played more than once actually as a quartet, but the first time they did that was a game against Darlington, 25th of January 2003, and I haven't looked up the score. So there's something for our viewers to do. We must have had a chance of beating Darlow, surely.
I nearly went to Kevin Parker then. Do you remember Kevin Parker? He scored a last-minute winner against Exeter. Yeah.
Yes.
And I forgave him later that year when he nicked my taxi in the queue outside the Venue nightclub in Torquay when he was on crutches because of that goal. I let him have it.
Well done.
That's very good of you, I think, Chris.
Well, only because he scored the win against Exeter, though. No other reason.
There you go.
Thank you, Clive.
So, many thanks again to 2 people, actually. Talkie Fan Stats, who's a great presence on Twitter.
Fantastic.
But in fairness, he said that John Gibbs has done an awful lot of work in the background, and it is from John Gibbs's spreadsheets that information was quarried. So there we go. There's a little bit of history for you.
Enjoyed that, Clive. I'm now off to. I'm now going to go and retire.
Tom, it should be said, joined us from Norway. Thank you very much for your commitment and your service, Tom. Tom is in a hotel room in Tromsø this evening, I believe.
That's it. You got it.
There it is. Right.
He is Norwegian, to be fair, so it's not that surprising.
Oh, I wish so much.
Right. Tonight's question was, if there was a Player of the Season award now, who would the Yellow Army choose? I mean, the answer's Sam Dreyer. But I'll take you through it because other people have been mentioned as well.
Starting a section of people's opinions with a fact.
Yeah, Sam Dreyer, notoriously not a giver away of penalties. So
no, I can't believe you even thought you would do that either, Clive.
Oh, amazing! I'm really sorry. I've apologised before. I'll do it again. Sam, if you're watching this, sorry, mate. Have a word with Jordan Dyer. Tell him to sort himself out. So, Johnny Jones starts us off tonight, and he says he's failed completely to pick a winner because he said it's hard to pick between Sam Dreyer and Jay Fulston. We then move on to Josh Coles. This is going to be fun. I'm just going to be reading from my phone for the next 5 minutes. Feel free to interject. Hard to argue over Dreyer being the most consistent over the season so far, says Josh. I've seen every other player have more bad games than I've seen from him. Hayfield and Will Jenkins-Davis upping their levels at the moment, and Jordan Thomas, he makes that sign. It's that sign, okay? It
I'm
means
just looking at it now.
okay, I think.
Yeah.
It's a good one, all right? It's not rude.
Yeah.
Okay. Josh, in his comprehensive reply, goes on to say that he's glad that Cody Cook's getting more goals as well, and Hassani has also had good moments. Joe Uglow. Hiya, Joe. Thanks very much for your contribution. Sam Dreyer, he's been a class above, closely followed by Jay Fulston. There is a bit of a theme developing here.
Thanks, Joe, for your opinion, because you agreed with me, is what Clive meant by that.
Tom Armstrong also agrees. He's saying Dreyer and Fulston, Hassani, bright moments too, and Will Jenkins-Davis is starting to shine. Paul Dennis has also gone for Sam Dreyer, and he singled out Hassani, Musa, and WJD also. Yeah, that was his solution. Rachel Malak. Hi, Rachel. Fresh from her fight with an Exeter fan this morning. Sam Dreyer and Jay Fulston have been steady and reliable. WJD, Hassani, they both had a spark to the midfield. Hayfield, industrious, and Cook works his socks off. Musa gives us an element of surprise, says Rachel, because we're never sure what he's going to do. And Hammond has had some good recent performances too. She's actually come to the conclusion that she is going to give it to Will Jenkins-Davis. Paul Mulhern, always worth listening to Paul. Dreyer is the obvious choice, but for me, Cook is the one the team miss most when he's not there. His absence takes away the chance to mix things up in the game. So with his goals as well, I'll go for Cody. Cody. Thank you, Paul. Do we have any others? Yes, we do. Matt Late. I hope I pronounced your name right there. Late. Matt. Oh, God. Matt Late has also tweeted, thank you, Matt, and I hope I pronounced your name right. Dreyer is the player of the season so far. For me, hasn't really had a bad game. Top player.
Do you reckon he might be Ellis's brother, Clive? Might be, mightn't he?
It's possible. Ellis Late. He was a decent striker, wasn't he?
He was, yeah.
Lots of goals in non-league.
Yeah.
Dom Roman.
Who's
he?
Who?
Yeah.
Who? I remember that name. I can't think why.
Did he used to come on here?
Yeah, he did.
Occasionally. Yeah, occasionally.
Hiya, Dom. Sam Dreyer stands out, so gets my vote. Jay Fulston has also been very consistent, and a special message for Cody Cook, who is putting a terrific shift throughout the season so far. And the last one tonight is Disco Barry. Hiya, Barry. Think for me, it's Cody Cook, the only player who is irreplaceable. Teams seem unable to play as well when he's not in there. So there you go.
That's an excellent point, that, isn't it? Yeah.
Very good point.
I do agree. We shouldn't have irreplaceable players, but he's a very, very difficult one to replace at the moment, isn't he? Does he need a bit of help? I don't know. There you go, chaps. That's Kelly's.
Well done, Clive. Well done, mate.
Back to the real thing next week.
Yeah,
not as easy as it looks, is it, Clive?
It's not. I've tried it. I did not do well in the early episodes.
Yeah, you make it look really easy.
And that, once I've edited out all the mistakes.
Yeah.
But there we are.
We don't talk about that.
We don't. No, I don't do any editing. We run smoothly. Right. Anyway, so before we go forward, so I say as before we end this week's episode, thank you again. We're actually today, as we're recording this, 3 years ago we started this YouTube channel. It's quite mad actually. We actually had a great line. It's me, Rachel, a couple of people. Yeah, it feels a lot longer in my life doing this. But there's a kit. The kits, yes, the kits.
Special guests.
Yes.
So as we're recording this, you need to get down to tell Sam.
I need to rush down. I need to go.
Sam and Matt Carson working in the club shop right now, live.
So there we are.
Wow.
But the third kit is out, as you were seeing from the banner. It's brilliant. We just go and watch the video. I'm not going to spoil. Go and watch the video that the club uploaded today. It's brings a tear to your eye. Kind of content. It's fantastic. Well done to everyone involved. What an incredible time to be a Talkie fan. And I've got that like really like nice confidence on the pitch again. You know, like if you're not a football fan and you don't believe your club's like the best thing in the world in the league and can win every game, what's the point? So there's actually not, I haven't had that in like a lot of years, you know. So I also obviously know what a difficult league this can be, but I'm excited. We'll actually have a promotion battle. I can't wait. I love it. I love it.
And we're also going to win the FA Trophy, Swanee, as well.
Not going to win the Devon Bowl. But
can't
you?
Moving on.
Moving on. But I share the thoughts of Michael Westcott. What he said on Twitter is where we are, and as we said, you know, that's where Exeter and their academy is. We're the building blocks of ours, and that's okay. Well done to all the lads who put on the shirt last night for us, and learning curve experiences, all that. But it's an exciting time for the football club. But no Devon Bowl this year. But never mind, you can't have it all. But thank you for joining.
Horsham, of course, on Saturday.
Yes, FA Trophy, important to keep going. Horsham, they're the team that knocked out Dorking last couple of years of the FA Cup, isn't it?
Yeah.
Should have checked that before, but yes, I'm pretty sure it is.
I live about half an hour from Horsham, so I can give you some basic facts if you want, real quick.
Go for it.
They've been without a home for Norwegian. They've been without a home for a while. They've moved into their new ground. They've been there for about 4 or 5 years now. Really nice setup. Kind of gutted it isn't away from home for me. That would have been perfect, but I digress. The Lardy Army. They'll bring. I think they'll bring quite a few down to play more. I know they've got a coach going, so hopefully they'll bring a few. The Lardy Army. They're not doing too great in the league this season, the Ishkian League, but I think because of their cup runs, they're a few games behind. So I think they're in a bit of a false position, but got a really good manager who's risen up the leagues as well. I remember he was a manager at one of my local clubs at East Preston about 10 years ago. So he's well respected in the non-league circle. So it'll be a very tough outing for us, but I think we will win 4-1.
Ooh, confident. Right, I'm going to go narrow 2-1 victory. Clive?
Yeah, I think we'll go 2-0. But I have a question.
Yes.
Why are they called the Lardy Army?
No idea. That's just what they're called, Clive. I know they've got a flag with the word flag on it, so I'm sure that'll make an appearance on Saturday as well.
Okay. Don't do with pre-match meals or anything.
If you like lard.
Perfect. Well, thanks for that, Tom. I appreciate that insight.
And through the journalistic instincts that we've got in this award-winning podcast, I'm finding an answer right now.
Nice.
Very good.
It's to do with some young, some old, and some who may not have wished to be as Lardy, but that's fine. It's not obligatory. It's something to do with when they were first formed. And the Lardy Army began 25 years ago with a bunch of lads who used to go out drinking, basically. The era was laddish and men behaving badly. So it would appear that it is because of what you might have thought it is, basically.
Wow.
And I think we're going to win. It reminds me, I need to buy my ticket to go, actually. But I think it will be 3-0.
Okay.
They're a club that's been through hard times, and I'm glad to see them on the up. So they enjoy the
always
weekend.
happy to hear that. Let's hope we don't do a Dorking then against them. There we are. So thank you very much
well
for watching.
Run clubs in the Isthmian League, of course.
Yes,
very well run.
Yes, I agree.
They need to be respected.
Yes, they do. And if we don't respect them, they'll beat us. So, but I'm sure we will.
Right.
But there we are. Thank you for watching and listening. I'm off to try and get my third shirt. It'll probably be sold out by the time I get there because we've got such a big fan base, of course. But I'm going to go and make the trip. Thank you very much for watching and listening. I've already said that, and we'll see you next week.
Here's Hargreaves, chance for Talkie. He stays on side. Carlisle checks instead. He's looking for Benyon. Sells!